Hi guys, it's Ross over at the Daily Jaws with the last in a very special trilogy of videos. If you love Jaws, sharks and movie making, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on social media and visit our website. All of the links are in the description. In the previous two videos, author and guitarist Jeremy Wagner from death metal band Broken Hope invited us to the unveiling of his spectacular life-size Quint sculpture made especially for him by SFX genius Nick Marra. And then Jeremy took us on a tour of his incredible Jaws museum. In this video, Jeremy, Nick Marra and ANTHRAX drummer Charlie Benante discuss their love for Jaws and how it continues to inspire them almost 50 years after its release.
Wow, that's a tough question. I'm Charlie and I am a touring musician. I'm also a Jaws lover.
Jeremy Wagner, Jaws fan, of course. I'm in a band Broken Hope, and I also write scary books and stories full time.
I'm Nick Marra. I have Nick Marra Studios, and I make characters from some of our favorite movies.
I was telling Nick my story about my oldest sister read the book. She was always telling me about this book, and I became interested in sharks and stuff like that, and then she said it was going to be made into a major motion picture, and then I got the paperback. And the first time I saw it was on 86th Street in New York, waited on a long line, and I missed the days of going to the movies and you see lobby cards, which basically gives you a bit of a description about the movie and you see it. So I was so excited to see Jaws. This is when it first came out. Went with my whole family and I came out of there like I just saw something, that I've never seen before, and I was so amazed by this movie. And like I was telling Nick, I would see that movie over and over again. I would go, they would drop me off at the movie theater and they just leave me there and I'd watch it twice. And it was my favorite movie. It still is.
When I was about four and 5 years old, I'm a summer kid. I was born in August. So I remember when Jaws was in theaters, just from the amazing poster artwork, and the paperback for Jaws was everywhere that year, 1975. My mom, all my aunts and uncles, everyone I knew that was an adult had that paperback, and then you'd see it everywhere. You'd see it at the grocery store,
Everywhere.
the drugstore, everywhere. And I was so fascinated by the cover artwork and the poster artwork. This giant, super huge shark going up to eat this, skinny dipping woman. It was like, holy crap, what is this about? So, and Jaws is actually the first adult novel I ever read, because my mom had it, like I said, and I started reading it. That opening line, the great fish swam through the nighttime water, it just captured my imagination. Now, I didn't get to see it in the movie theater. There are certain movies like Jaws, even like when Star Wars came out, there were such long lines, I'd be horribly disappointed because the line would stop and we're sold out. So I didn't get to see it in the theater, but I did see it a couple years later. I'm not sure what year it was, but Jaws came to television for the first time. So I was with my dad over at one of his buddies' houses, and for a couple weeks when I knew it was coming to TV from the commercials, and the TV guide, had a thing about Jaws is going to be on TV for the first time.
And it was re-edited.
And, oh yeah, that's right.
New scenes.
And so I saw it on TV for the first time, but since then, I've seen it a million times now, and we're actually all tonight, as we're doing this interview, it's going to be on IMAX and in 3D for the first time, just opening today. So we're going to go see it then. So that's the first time I technically saw Jaws, and like Charlie and Nick, it's like my favorite movie of all time. There's nothing like it to this day. And for a movie from 1975 to stand the test of time, I mean, it's up there like, you know, The Godfather or The Exorcist even. It still evokes emotion, and it's such a great movie, artistically, everything. Just genius movie.
I saw it in 1975, opening run at the Odeon Theatre in Windsor, Ontario. Unfortunately, we tried to get in. 2 attempts failed in July. Finally got to see it in August.
August?
And as I've mentioned in the past, we were 3/4 of the way back in the theater. When the head rolls out of the boat, it did not look like a single head went up. It looked like somebody dropped the theater. Because every head went up, and you could only see that when you're a little further back. It was absolutely, but it was mind-blowing, life-changing experience. And after the movie, we went to McDonald's, and I remember putting my arm out the car door, and I thought immediately, I pulled it back up, because maybe a land shark was going to get me. That's how that movie affected me.
That movie gave so many people I've met, myself, this irrational fear of, especially as a kid in the 70s, going into the bathtub, going into a pool or a lake, you know.
You couldn't tell me that a shark couldn't get through the drain at a pool.
Exactly, you know. And the other thing that stuck with me, I just thought of that, I'm sure you guys feel the same way, that stuck in your head, aside from how well the movie played out and the suspense and everything, was the musical score. Because that score, that John, as a kid, that score also makes the movie, and that's something I took away too. That just was like a movie
like
score.
I
had never, you know,
Because you only hear
John Williams.
You only hear it when the shark is there.
Mm-hmm.
When you see the swimmers and stuff without the music, the shark is not there. John Williams, to me, is man, did he touch on something with that? Because you don't even have to see the shark; you just hear the music, and it immediately sends you into like this panic.
And thank God Spielberg didn't go with his original instinct. He thought it was a joke.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, he's like, "You kidding me? That's it?"
2 ostinato notes. It's like, come on, man.
Brilliance.
But it's brilliant, and John Williams to this day amazes me. Have you ever seen him do it like with the orchestra?
Yes.
Oh, seeing that, I seen it like 3 times. It's so awesome when he plays that song, and you see the instruments like that.
You actually see the orchestra.
Dude, it's so amazing.
Incredible.
Oh, they've known about it. They help it. They encourage it. You know, if they saw something that, you know, was Jaws related, they would buy it. And so, yeah, they're totally supportive. One time, one of the birthdays I had on tour, they had just come out with the Laserdisc box set. And the band got it for me for my birthday. And I was just like, oh my God, I think I even started crying. I was so happy about that. But that Laserdisc was the first time that there ever was a documentary on Jaws.
That's right.
And I watched that thing over and over again. It's so
Great
good.
documentary.
Great documentary.
Laurent Bizaru.
Correct. Yeah. So yeah, they're very supportive.
My family's always been really supportive of my love of Jaws, from, you know, putting sharks on birthday cakes. My friends as well, and getting me, you know, Jaws related things. So they're supportive, but also my wife also thinks I'm effing insane because just look, like what did you do? Why do you need a hyper realistic, accurate Quint and chalkboard? You know, why do you need an original clapboard? You know, why do you need the machete that was in the movie? So it's a mixture of support and also kind of going like, dude, you might have a problem with your Jaws obsession. But hey, everyone knows I love Jaws. My amazing stepson, it was just my birthday, and the gift bag he brought me, I don't even want to throw it out. It's got a friggin' shark coming up with a birthday hat, and there's a bite out of the bag, and you know, so everyone knows I love Jaws and great white sharks, frankly, too. But
They go together.
always supportive. You know, it's like most people that are close to me know if they think of me, they think of Jaws or John Carpenter's The Thing. You know, when it comes to movies I love and stuff. So it's all good.
Well, for me, I think my family thinks I'm certifiable, like Quint.
Yeah.
But no, my wife, for my 50th birthday party, we had a Jaws theme. She went all out, got the poster of Amity Island with the shark drawn in on it, shark cake by the stylist. Ashley, I forgot to mention Ashley Moldorfer. She did the styling on the hair of the Quint, and she made the most amazing great white shark cake. It was beautiful. It was sad to eat, but my God, it was delicious too. But yeah, it was. I've always been that way since the age of 12. Once I was 12, saw Jaws, and everything changed. I knew I had to get into the movie business.
Charlie got me one of the most beautiful Jaws themed cakes I ever had, man.
Remember that?
A few years ago.
Awesome.
It was. I didn't want to cut the damn cake or anything. It had little yellow barrels on top
No
and
way.
shit, and it was just incredible.
Yeah. My girlfriend and daughter, they always get me Jaws cakes too. The last one was so heavy, and we didn't want to even cut it.
Was the Kintner boy inside?
I'll tell you a funny story about the Kintner boy.
Oh.
I made the trek to Martha's Vineyard back in 1993, I think it was. In New York, at Radio City, they were going to show Jaws. And Peter Benchley was going to be there and talk about it a bit.
Wow.
So I took the trip to Martha's Vineyard, and then when I came back from the vineyard, I went to see the movie with Peter Benchley talking. But when I was there, nobody knew anything about Jaws. There was no landmarks or nothing, so I had to find it all myself. And then there was a restaurant, and on the menu, it's the Alex Kittner burger. So we were laughing about it at the time, and then the manager said, "Oh, the boy who played the guy who played Alex Kittner, Jeffrey Voorhees, I think.
Voorhees,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's the manager here as well, but he's off tonight."
Oh,
That would have been great if I would have just said, "You're the Kittner boy." You know? So yeah, the Kittner, the Alex Kittner burger, I think it was a fillet of fish.
wow.
Yeah.
And I heard also that the actress who played his mother, I can't remember her name. Sorry.
Her name was. I forgot.
She walked into that restaurant many
Yes.
years, and she saw,
That
Alex
he was-
Kittner burger or Alex Kittner sandwich. She's like, "Oh, I was in that movie," and Jeffrey Voorhees was working. Said, "Well, so me too." And wait, you're
She didn't know that?
no,
Did she slap him?
yeah. The Daily Jaws could confirm if that story's accurate.
I definitely heard that
Yeah.
more than two sources. Actually.
Yeah, isn't that just crazy
Yeah, it's
coincidence?
crazy. They didn't know each other from,
Yeah,
because wasn't some of the other actors from that town
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah, a lot of them.
yeah,
were.
in
Yeah.
Edgartown.
In Edgartown,
yeah, we're extras. Yeah.
And I took that
Like-
big ferry, that takes you over there. That they showed.
Oh yeah, that Carl Gottlieb
Yeah.
and the Mayor Vaughn and those
So
guys
I
are on.
found all that stuff. I found Gayhead Cliffs is where the Brody and Hooper swim back to shore.
Oh, yeah.
That whole thing. So it was untouched. Like, it looked exactly like the movie.
That's
Bad Hat Harry, the old man, he was a local.
A local.
And he had, I don't know if you've ever seen, but I just saw this recently in the last few years. There were posts of, he had a photo album of his own photos of all the shooting of Jaws, like photos I've never seen before. It was really cool. I'm not sure if his family has that or where that's at, but again, the Daily Jaws probably knows, but that just amazing, yeah.
Oh man, to this day I still can't figure out if Quint was a real scumbag or if he was just like a fisherman just trying to make a buck. You know what I mean? Because there's something that's come about in the past couple of years was that Quint was the one that killed. What was his name?
Oh, Ben Gardner.
Ben Gardner.
Yeah, there's
It wasn't the shark.
conspiracy theory.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy theory that he killed Ben Gardner because he was a rival fisherman, and he wanted the money for the shark. So he wanted to kill the shark, basically.
10 grand was a lot back in
and he planted the tooth the size of a shot glass.
Right.
I pulled it out from the
Well, how could a shark have gotten the eye?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right. I
I think
know.
it was just the pressure.
I always wonder why that eye was hanging.
Right,
It's one of those things, you know.
Ask him.
You know.
Did you really?
Yeah.
If he talks, then I'm leaving. But it's just Quint. He was likable, but at the end of the day, he was nuts.
Yeah. Well, I like him because he likes going swimming with bow-legged women. But no, that's not right. He was like, again, going back when I first saw the movie, as a kid, I'm like, this guy's a badass. And he's not, I'm already scared of the shark, He attacks Chrissy Watkins and all and the Kittner kids. So I'm like, this is the one guy who is not scared to go out on the ocean in a boat. Like, I thought, this guy, character is insane. He's like an anti-hero. And then,
Oh yeah.
and he's, got the courage, the gonads to hunt this monster shark. But as an adult too, like, he's like, who gives illegal moonshine to the chief of police? And,
Right.
And
Pretty
always
good stuff.
little details
myself.
crack me up too. Like when they're having the town board meeting, where we see them, like, who's gonna get the shark? Mrs. Kittner put ads out in all the papers and all this stuff, and there's fishermen coming down. Like, look at Quint's shack when they're in there. Hooper, Brody, and Quint. He's got 1 million shark jaws.
Right.
No one in town, it didn't occur to him, who's one guy in town who can kill a
If
shark?
only we can get someone.
Man, if we only knew somebody, that always cracks me up. But he's a hero and an anti-hero, and he's just a badass. And Robert Shaw, man, may the gods bless him. He was such an amazing actor. He was cast so perfectly. They're going to have Lee Marvin. We'll talk. And Lee Marvin passed on the role because he wanted to go on a fishing trip.
Right.
And he's like, screw that. The casting, Robert Shaw, who else can you ever think of? No one.
I don't see anybody.
And from the town hall meeting speech about catching the shark to the Indianapolis speech and all this stuff, just that blows you away. And that's like the strength of an actor. But back to the character of Quint, he's just a legendary badass.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, Charlie, you don't know if he's a scumbag or if he's a really good guy. He's just so rough around the edges, and he's so obsessed with the shark, almost like Captain Ahab with Moby Dick.
It's very much like that.
And you're like, you see him just getting crazy, you know. I mean, the boat, the Orca, he drives it till like the engine blows up because he's so out of his mind to get the shark. And as a character, you also sympathize with him. Like when you see him kicking, and you're like, I still think about it now, the terror of kicking as that shark, his jaws there, and then when he gets him,
And
like
the force
like
of the
when I was a
boat
kid, I cried when Quint got
pulling him
killed.
down.
I started crying, like, you know, it was.
I thought he was going to get away.
And
When
so,
he put his foot on the head, he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh no, he's going to get away. He's
got-
going to get away. Oh no!"
he's got the
and he
machete,
slipped
but-
inside.
but,
yeah.
But he couldn't have gotten away.
but-
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But Quint, just as a character, to me, he's a hero, super strong, and I don't know. I'm always for characters like that in general with books and movies. So that's why he's my favorite character, and he makes the friggin' movie.
For me, I saw him as a very complex character. He's not one thing. He's very, and I actually did the sculpture with that expression on purpose, because I feel that there's intimidation, arrogance, but if you look close, there's a little bit of whimsy, and then the leaning back is the lack of respect that he had in the film for a lot of the people, like certainly Hooper. He just had no respect for Hooper, and really he didn't respect Brody. He's scared of the water.
Brody was paying him, so he had to have some sort of respect.
Yeah, that was, just on the surface he had some respect, but that's why I sculpted him that way, is to me, that's the definitive look of his character, where it's not just like a mean guy, or there's definitely, he had a great sense of humor. You see all the aspects of his character. And, he was a badass, obviously. He had the experience to prove it.
Do you think, like, the whole thing about Quint was the people in the town knew of him, but they also kind of pushed
They did not like him.
They did not like him.
No.
Maybe that's why they didn't want to go to him, but he came to them and was like, look,
Yeah.
I agree.
you all know
100%.
me, you know how I earn a living, and that still didn't bring, like what Jeremy said, he's got all these jaws.
Nobody clapped when
Nope.
he said, "Y'all know me," and hey, Quint's here. No, they didn't like him.
They disliked him. But I do like the fact that after he tells the story of the Indianapolis, how they're drinking a bit and they all start to bro down.
Yeah.
And they like each other.
Yeah.
And I think that was right
bonding,
there.
That was a bonding moment.
Was a bonding moment, and then when he gets killed, it's because of that moment that I think we all feel like, oh man.
Because he saw that other facet to Quint
Absolutely.
of,
he's a human being.
He's a human.
Yeah.
That was another one of my favorite shots. And again, Verna Fields, the Queen, to keep that short shot of when Hooper says, "I got no spit." What do they cut to? They cut to Quint. And the look on Quint's face was respect.
Yeah.
He's going down in the cage in that little portable monkey shower. And he's going down with that big monster. And you see the respect in Quint. That was a lot of other... again, I don't know if it was Spielberg saying, hey, we got to get that shot. Or the two of them saying, we got to have that shot of Quint's reaction. That meant the world to me even back then. You see, I've got respect for this guy now.
Now we do, right.
Now, and also from the Indianapolis scene, it started building.
And even that, just think of that scene where Hooper says, "I got no spit." Just for Hooper, for
the whole audience,
you feel super scared for the guy because he's terrified.
Absolutely.
But one other thing though. What person on the face of the planet do you know that drinks apricot brandy? Right? I mean, he's a very special person.
An Iranian caviar.
Did you get 2 cases of it?
2, something like that.
I'll buy lunch or something.
Something like that. Yeah, I forgot to buy them. Yeah.
But it's true because Mayor Vaughn and the rest of the council there, they know him, and they've probably had to deal with him for a while now.
Yeah.
And we don't even talk about his assistant.
Mr. Quint, I quit.
Yeah.
I quit, Mr. Quint, I quit. And you hear Spielberg, all right, thank you.
Yeah.
It was very unenthusiastic.
Mr. Quint, I quit. I ain't going.
Many things. The Quint is made of silicone, hands and head. The body is different kinds of plastic, some urethane foams, rigid foams, some soft foam, some fiberglass, and he's got a aluminum armature inside, for structural integrity.
Awesome.
That's amazing. I just noticed one other detail. Even his fingernails have grit and dirt. And when you were talking about his expression, all those things that the face embodies, and then his posture, like,
Yeah.
dude, you're incredible, man. You're an incredible artist, Nick. And,
Thank you.
Yeah.
dude, I want to thank you for everything you did, and you're just fan-freaking-tastic. This is
Great job.
the ultimate.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um,
Yeah, and the way the hair takes a good amount of time, but I'm still working. I probably worked on the body while the head is being sent to my hair girl, Denise Bear. And,
All right.
And she has her normal job, so I can only go with what the time frame that other subcontractors can give me. And
I remember one other thing, though, that did delay stuff. The eyes from Fourth Seal. You were having trouble confirming getting an answer from them if they could get you the eyes, or something was back ordered. I think there's I don't know if it was a supply chain issue or just getting.
no, I actually had some lost. I never got them. That actually happened with not just Quint, but another character. They were sent in the mail, and I never got them. I don't know if it was
okay.
Porch Pirates or what, but yeah, I just.
That's right. I knew the eyes.
Yeah.
There was.
The eyes take longer than you would think because the tone had to be just right, and it's always difficult with color timing. A film from 1975 to get the tones of the color just right for the eyes. But I did rely on what Virginia Jensen was telling me about his height, Robert Shaw's height. That she laughed because we talked. I actually asked her. I met her like in '96, and I asked her. I said, "How tall was Robert Shaw?" And she said, "You know what's funny? He always said he was 6 feet tall, but he was 5'11". He says he always wanted to be taller than he was. But yeah, so the eyes were a delay. Yeah, and of course, actually one of the hardest things was making the shoes.
yeah.
Those are custom shoes, and you're working from, some photos. That's actually the first time you see the shoes is in the TV version. Mm-hmm. When it came to TV, he comes out, shot of the bottom of the door of his truck. And then the boot comes down, and you're like, what is that?
And it's the Quint logo.
Quint.
Yeah.
Quint. Yeah. And Joe Alves drew that logo for
sure
on
did.
the truck.
He sure did.
I love
Quint
that
Shark.
scene, by the way.
Charter.
Yeah.
The kid playing the clarinet.
The kid who was hired to look exactly like Spielberg.
He does look like
Oh yeah, the young Spielberg.
That's a great. By the way, with the Welsh clogs, he is 6 foot tall.
Oh yeah, yeah, and more.
How long have I wanted to own a life-size Quint?
Since you were 4 or 5.
Never in my life did I ever think, wow, I wish I had a life-size Quint in my house. But I gotta say, a small seed was planted when I saw what Nick had done for Greg Nicotero with the Quint, Brody and Hooper, and with Chris Kiska's Quint. That's the one where he's on the fighting chair, right? Crushing the beer can.
Yeah.
So I always thought those are really amazing. I maybe thought that would be cool to have something like that, But as my Jaws collection has grown more and more in the last 10 years, I actually met Nick because there's in some of the footage you'll see there's 3 like smaller scale busts of Chief Brody, Hooper, and Quint that Nick made, and they were so awesome. And I remember because I was following you, your Nick Marra, your page. I think this is before we were friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
Or maybe we were friends on Facebook, but I remember I ordered them because you had done a post, and I was so thrilled with them. And then you had checked out me on social media, and you wrote me a message. Hey, dude, you really are a hardcore Jaws fan with all the memorabilia pictures I posted. Yeah. Would you be down to have your own Quint? You know, because I told you too, Quint's my favorite character. Yeah. So really, it started with this guy right here proposing the question, would you like your own life-size hyper-realistic Quint? To which I said, well, this is the second time someone's asked me, you and the Daily Jaws, would you like to have your own life-size Quint? And the answer was, oh, absolutely. But if you remember, I also said, if we do it, I want one that doesn't look like Nicotero's Quint, like as far as the scene.
Yeah.
Or Chris Kiska's Quint on a fighting chair crushing the can, which that's a brilliant piece, the can crushing scene, you know, with Hooper. And I said, one of my favorite scenes is when you first see Quint with the town hall people, the town leaders, the mayor, and he's at the back of the room with the chalkboard, and you know, the first words out of his mouth, you all know me. Boom, it's such a epic scene. It's really awesome. And I go, I want that Quint from the first time viewers see him in the movie with the chalkboard in the town hall meeting, and boom, we did it. He made it, but we made it happen together. It was really fun.
Will you be completing the set with Brody and Hooper? Just yes or no?
I will not be completing the set with Brody or Hooper. Not now, anyway.
But the
unless
mayor.
I get
He will have the mayor.
standalone.
Mayor Vaughn.
I would actually might get a real life-size, hyper-realistic Mayor Vaughn. That would be great.
Cool.
But right now, no, I'm really content with Quint with the chalkboard. But anything's possible. This guy can make anything anyway. You never know. He can make me something from The Thing next time. I don't know. We'll see.
Go with the T-Rex.
Yeah, or a T-Rex. He worked on Jurassic Park in The Lost World, so he can do anything.
So,
Right, Nick?
Right.
real quick, you guys said it earlier. I just want to recap. What is happening tonight?
We're going to see Jaws on the big screen in IMAX, and I'm so excited to see
3D,
it.
right? IMAX 3D?
I don't know if it's 3D
Yeah.
or 2D.
Yeah, we're gonna see. Well, what's today? Say it's September 2nd,
Second.
and I feel like the end of Jaws. What day is it today?
Yeah. It's Tuesday. No,
It's
Wednesday.
Friday, September 2nd. So for the first time on Friday today, Jaws is going to be on IMAX for the first time, and they have a 3D version. So there's two separate ones.
Oh,
yeah.
So we're going to go see Jaws in IMAX tonight to celebrate hanging out and doing the Quint unveiling and, all that good stuff. So shout out to the Daily Jaws community, followers, Daily Jaws fans. Here's to your legs, gentlemen.
Yeah. I love the Daily Jaws. It's I'll see those guys when I go on tour next month over to the UK. So I look forward to that. Any website that promotes Jaws is cool in my book.
yeah,
Yep.
same here.
Yep.
Every day, I always check out the page. Always new tidbits where I think I knew it all. No, There's some new tidbits that come out, and I'm like, I never knew that.
Yep, that's
And-
right.
And one more important thing, another documentary that people need to see is "The Shark Is Still Working," that a
Yeah.
couple
Oh,
of
yeah.
friends of mine did.
And a great book, Memories of Martha's
Martha's
Vineyard,
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is a fantastic
Matt
book.
Taylor's book.
Matt Taylor, yeah, it's a fantastic book. But
Yeah.
Daily Jaws rules. The three of us are always texting each other either new things that they post or things we've never seen before. And it's because of Daily Jaws. And Ross, thank you very much, by the way, for having us today and being part of this special unveiling. You always have your finger on the pulse of anything Jaws, and you're amazing. So again, here's to your legs. Here's to the Daily Jaws and all you Jaws fans out there. Hope you enjoyed this. And thank you guys for coming
Thank you.
out and joining me
Thank
today.
you. Thank you.